Clint Eastwood is one of the most influential figures in American cinema, renowned for his tough, stoic screen presence and his fearless storytelling. Born Clinton Eastwood Jr. on May 31, 1930, in San Francisco, he grew up during the Great Depression, a time that shaped his work ethic and determination. Early on, Eastwood was shy and reserved, but he developed a quiet confidence that later became his signature on screen. His childhood and early adulthood were marked by modest jobs, military service, and a slow, unconventional rise to acting. Yet even before fame, he displayed the kind of resilience that would define both his life and his career. Over the decades, Eastwood transformed from a television cowboy into a legendary actor, director, and producer whose influence spans generations. Early life, from humble beginnings to Hollywood dreams. Eastwood's early life was shaped by hard work and modest circumstances. His parents, Clinton Eastwood Sr. and Margaret Ruth, offered stability, but not wealth. He grew up during an era of scarcity, which helped forge his disciplined personality. As a young man, Eastwood held various jobs, lifeguard, paperboy, and more, before being drafted into the U.S. Army during the Korean War era. Although he did not see combat, military life reinforced his disciplined nature and deepened his reserved demeanor. After returning to civilian life, Eastwood pursued acting through classes and small roles, steadily learning the craft. His early experiences taught him to rely on patience and persistence, traits that later became evident in his slow-burning but powerful performances. This quiet determination was the foundation of a career that would eventually redefine the Western genre. The Breakthrough, Rawhide, and the Rise of Rowdy Yates. Eastwood's first major success came from television, where he starred as Rowdy Yates in the series Rawhide, 1959 to 1961. Initially not the central character, Eastwood gradually gained attention through his natural charisma and authentic presence. His performance captured audiences with a subtle intensity rarely seen in young actors at the time. The role allowed him to develop his craft, but also shaped his public persona as a rugged, determined cowboy. Rawhide gave him visibility and introduced him to the world, but it also taught him the realities of show business: long hours, typecasting, and constant pressure. Despite this, Eastwood continued to grow as an actor, learning how to communicate emotion through silence and minimalism. These early lessons would later define the roles that made him a global icon. Spaghetti westerns, a new kind of hero. Eastwood's international fame was cemented in the 1960s through his collaboration with Italian director Sergio Leone. The Dollars Trilogy, A Fistful of Dollars, 1964, For a Few Dollars More, 1965, and The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, 1966, redefined the Western genre. Eastwood's Man with No Name became a symbol of anti-heroism, quiet, efficient, morally complex, and unforgettable. These films broke away from traditional Western ideals by presenting characters who were neither purely heroic nor entirely evil. Instead, they were driven by survival, ambition, and personal code. Eastwood's performance showed that powerful acting doesn't require loud emotion. Sometimes a look or a pause can say more than words. The trilogy revolutionized storytelling and made Eastwood a worldwide star, proving that subtlety and grit could captivate audiences. The director emerges, Play Misty for Me and Beyond. In 1971, Eastwood made his directorial debut with Play Misty for Me, a thriller that showcased his talent behind the camera. The film revealed his skill for pacing, tension, and character-driven storytelling. It was the first sign that Eastwood's creative influence extended far beyond acting. Over the decades, he expanded his directorial repertoire with films that are now considered modern classics, including Unforgiven, 1992, Million Dollar Baby, 2004, Gran Torino, 2008, and American Sniper, 2014. These films explored themes of redemption, morality, and human struggle, often reflecting Eastwood's own worldview. As a director, he became known for his calm control of narrative and his ability to elicit powerful performances from actors. His work earned multiple Academy Awards, proving that his talent as a filmmaker was equal to his status as an icon. The man behind the icon, private life and public persona. Eastwood's life off-screen has often been as complex as his characters. He remained a fiercely private figure, avoiding Hollywood excess and focusing on his work. Known for his straightforward, no-nonsense demeanor, Eastwood became a symbol of strength and independence. His personal life, however, was marked by relationships, family complexities, and public scrutiny. Despite this, he maintained a reputation for discipline and professionalism, both in life and work. He also served in politics, becoming mayor of Carmel by the Sea, California, in the 1980s. This role demonstrated his commitment to leadership and community. Even in politics, Eastwood applied the same decisive, practical approach he used in filmmaking. His private life may have been complicated, but his public persona remained consistent, a man of discipline, focus, and relentless drive. Family and relationships, a complex personal history. Eastwood's personal life included multiple long-term relationships and several children. He married Maggie Johnson in 1953, and they had 2 children, Kyle and Allison. Their marriage lasted over 3 decades, ending in divorce in 1984. During that time, Eastwood had a long relationship with Roxanne Tunis, which produced a daughter, Kimber. Later, he began a high-profile relationship with actress Sandra Locke from 1975 to 1989, a partnership that drew intense media attention. He also had a private relationship with flight attendant Jocelyn Reeves, producing 2 children, Scott and Catherine. Afterward, he was involved with actress Frances Fisher, with whom he had daughter Francesca. Eastwood then married Dina Ruiz in 1996, and they had a daughter, Morgan. Their marriage ended in divorce in 2014. Eastwood's family story reflects the complexities of fame, love, and private life. The actor he respects most, Lee Van Cleef. Despite his fame, Eastwood has always spoken respectfully about other actors, especially those who shared the screen in westerns. When asked who he respected most, he named Lee Van Cleef, a legendary figure known for his chilling presence and villainous intensity. Van Cleef was born in 1925 in Somerville, New Jersey, and rose to prominence as a character actor in the 1950s. Often cast as an antagonist, he transformed typecasting into a powerful advantage. Van Cleef became the quintessential cold, calculating villain, an actor who could command a scene through presence alone. Eastwood admired this skill deeply. He believed Van Cleef demonstrated how acting is about more than lines. It's about timing, silence, and understanding the heartbeat of a scene. To Eastwood, Van Cleef was a master of tension and subtlety. What made Van Cleef stand out? Precision and presence. Eastwood's admiration for Van Cleef was rooted in the actor's rare ability to communicate danger without melodrama. In a genre filled with larger-than-life heroes and villains, Van Cleef brought a quiet intensity that made audiences feel threatened by his gaze alone. Eastwood respected this discipline and the actor's commitment to craft. He noted that Van Cleef approached each role with preparation, professionalism, and a deep respect for the story. Even when cast in limited roles, Van Cleef made every scene memorable through controlled expressions and precise movement. Eastwood saw in him a reflection of his own values: dedication, authenticity, and strength without showiness. Their shared history in Western films only deepened Eastwood's respect, as he recognized how Van Cleef helped shape the genre and set a standard for acting that remains influential today. Conclusion: a legacy of respect and craft. Clint Eastwood's legacy extends far beyond his iconic film roles. He is celebrated not only for his performances, but for his dedication to the craft and his respect for fellow artists. His admiration for Lee Van Cleef reveals what Eastwood values most in acting: precision, presence, and authenticity. Through his work as an actor, director, and producer, Eastwood has demonstrated that true greatness comes from discipline and a deep understanding of human nature. His story, from humble beginnings to global fame, remains a testament to perseverance and artistic integrity. And his tribute to Van Cleef serves as a reminder that the greatest influence in cinema often comes from those who understand that the power of a performance lies not in words, but in presence.